Good morning, everyone. Hope you are well. We're going to get right into it. Today's lesson is lesson 57, and it's a review again, lessons 31 through 35, and we will go right ahead and start. Number one, I am not the victim of the world I see. How can I be the victim of a world that can be completely undone if I so choose? My chains are loosened. I can drop them off merely by desiring to do so. The prison door is open. I can leave simply by walking out. Nothing holds me in this world. Only my wish to stay keeps me a prisoner. I will give it up, my insane wishes, and walk into the sunlight at last. Number two, I have invented the world I see. I made up the prison in which I see myself. All I need to do is recognize this, and I am free. I have deluded myself into believing it is possible to imprison the Son of God. I was bitterly mistaken in this belief, which I no longer want. The Son of God must be forever free. He is as God created him, and not what I would make of him. He is where God would have him be, and not where I thought to hold him prisoner. Number three, there is another way of looking at the world. Since the purpose of this world is not the one I ascribed to it, there must be another way of looking at it. I see everything upside down, and my thoughts are the opposite of truth. I see the world as a prison for God's Son. It must be then that the world is really a place where he can be set free. I would look upon the world as it is and see it as a place where the Son of God finds his freedom. Number four, I could see peace instead of this. When I see the world as a place of freedom, I realize that it reflects the laws of God instead of the rules I made up for it to obey. I will understand that peace, not war, abides in it. And I will perceive that peace also abides in the hearts of all who share this place with me. Number five, my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. As I share the peace of the world with my brothers, I begin to understand that this peace comes from deep within myself. The world I look upon has taken on the light of my forgiveness and shines forgiveness back at me. In this light, I begin to see what my illusions about myself kept hidden. I begin to understand the holiness of all things, including myself and their oneness with me. Okay, so let's go ahead and do one at a time, and let's see what we get out of it. Number one was, I am not the victim of the world I see. So here, let's first go into what I would characterize a victim being. Victim is someone that things get done to them. Things happen to them. They are not at fault for them happening to them. They happen to them because of circumstances or people are attacking them, and so they're victimized by someone or something, and they are powerless against it. They can't do nothing about it. They just have to take it. That's what I would describe a victim to be. So when it's saying, I am not a victim of the world I see, that means that you have the control. At any given moment, you can choose to escape this world, meaning you can escape the illusion that you've created of it being a very negative place, or you don't have any power to the circumstances that you are living and the experiences that you are having. And that's where we realize that we are not victims. At any given moment, as it says here, you can open the door and escape this world and see it for what it truly is, which I have said in previous lessons, is only love, is only peace, is only tranquility and happiness. And if you could see that with your true vision, then you would escape this and you would no longer feel like you're a victim here and only having experiences happen to you without any control over them. You have full control at all times. It's just you choosing to take that power in your hands and in your thoughts and seeing things for what they really are. So I am not the victim of the world I see. Number 2, I have invented the world I see. So we go back to the concept of everything in this world was made up by us, both collectively and singularly. So we have created, or another word for it, invented, this world that we see. We see it through our thoughts. The images that we create in our mind become the pictures that we see with our eyes. Everything that we experience are creations of ours or inventions of ours. You know, we do invent things, you know, as humans, we have invented many things, and all those become part of our experience here on this world. So everything that we see, since we're all together and so we're all connected, has been invented by us or by me or by you. So once again, I have invented the world I see. Number 3, there is another way at looking at the world. So right here, the Course is telling us that we have a choice. We can continue to see this world as we're seeing it right now, with all its positive and negative experiences. And usually a lot of those negative experiences are what stays in our mind and what causes pain and causes to feel like we're victims, like an earlier lesson. But reality is that that's not it is. We could look at things differently. We can see with our true vision and see that we are not victims, that we are not tied to this experience the way we're seeing it right now. We can change the way we perceive things. And that's where the work is, you know. Instead of seeing everything through the eyes of fear, we can choose to see everything through the eyes of love. Interpret everything that we encounter and all of our experiences that we come upon as something wonderful to give us insight, to help us grow, to help us connect to God. It's a choice. All we have to do is take it. Number 4. I could see peace instead of this. So this is one of my favorite ones, because when you have a negative experience and you're going through something really difficult, if you could remember this one lesson, it would help so much, because that experience that you're currently going through, that is causing all that pain or all that difficulty, you have a choice. I could see peace instead of this. You know, you can take on that horrendous or difficult experience that you're going through and remember that you can see peace instead of this. And I know it's hard, but, you know, baby steps, little by little, you could take on and repeat that thought in your mind. I could see peace instead of this. And in the face of whatever you're going through, you have a choice. You can always perceive anything in this world through the eyes of love. You don't have to get stuck in perceiving them through fear or through fear. I mean, everything boils down to fear. And if you can just realize that it's just a switch, you can switch it off, on and off at any given moment. Just see this through the eyes of love. I can see peace instead of this. That was number 4. Number 5. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. And that's where the power comes in. If we could only realize that God is within us every given moment of the day, every second, and all we have to do is but accept Him into our hearts and know with true faith that He's always with us. He's inside us. And because He is inside us, we are holy. We are complete. We are filled with love. We're never alone. We always have the availability to download all that information of peace and love to feel complete. And that's what's difficult for us, because we feel disconnected. We feel that we don't have that connection. For whatever reason, we feel separate. And I think it has to do obviously with ego. But we just have to realize that we are always connected to God. And at any given moment, at any given day, we just have to make the choice to remember that connection. And when we do, it's a rush of peace and love and joy and happiness that fills your heart. And then at that moment, you don't need anything. Because truly, you don't need anything. All you need is that. Everything else that this world has to offer does not compare. But until you experience it, until you allow that experience to come into your existence, you don't know it. And so you're trying to fill it with experiences, with the love of other people, the materialistic things, all these things that you think will help you feel joy and help you feel the peace and the love. And they don't really, they're really not enough, because what you truly want is that connection with God. And you just got to keep trying, little by little, you know. And one day you'll experience it, and then you'll just want more. And you'll realize that that's what you really wanted. So just keep on it. Those were the lessons for today. There were a review, and it was lesson 57 once again. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and let's continue on this journey together. And I appreciate you. Appreciate all of you. Let's make this world a better place. You and I together can do it.